Hello, I'm Bill Barberg, and I'd like to use this opportunity to just share a little bit more about the virtual summit on innovations in naturally affordable housing and how this can be such an important opportunity for your community to make real and sustainable progress in improving access to housing that is affordable, improving home ownership, strengthening neighborhoods, and really just strengthening your community. We've worked hard to pull together the best speakers on a whole range of topics that reinforce each other, that are part of a strategy for this important issue. And I just want to walk through some of the topics we're going to be covering. So we have a whole series of different presenters who are going to be talking about expanding accessory dwelling units or tiny houses in many different circumstances. We'll be looking at different construction options for accessory dwelling units, some amazing innovative designs, how they can be manufactured from shipping containers, different modular manufacturing techniques, building with structured insulated panels, different ways of streamlining construction by using standardized models that have been pre-approved for code compliance, or custom built. We'll see examples where students are building tiny homes or accessory dwelling units in part to learn geometry and build their math skills along with practical skills for careers. We'll be seeing how young adults working with their family have done a do-it-yourself approach, starting with a pre-built shell that was built by a boutique construction firm. There will also be different sessions on addressing zoning, policy, and other political and regulatory barriers, where we've got the author of the book Neighborhood Defenders and another expert sharing how do you overcome neighborhood resistance or NIMBY attitudes. We'll learn from Minneapolis some of the things that they've done that I think are very impressive and great examples, but we'll also learn why just upzoning and doing the zoning changes is not enough. There'll be sessions about how to streamline other processes and reduce barriers, and even ways that micro developers can subdivide unsubdividable residential lots. But it's not just about accessory dwelling units. We'll have a series of sessions on building the social side of communities, not just the sticks and bricks of housing. And we'll be looking at an inspiring example of building communities of hope in Detroit's apartment complexes, or developing pocket neighborhoods, or the secret sauce of co-housing. In addition to looking at providing more options for housing that is affordable, we'll look at ways of providing the supportive part of housing. Helping people who are struggling develop a map of their dreams and then engage community partners in supporting them that can add the supportive separate from the housing, so you have a lot more flexibility. We'll be looking at innovative technology to streamline community care coordination to support personal success plans, leveraging Medicare's chronic care management funding to help support an aging population that might be renting an accessory dwelling unit rather than going into a large congregate senior housing where, who knows, these days they might not be able to have any visitors or even get to leave at the risk of spreading the coronavirus. We'll be looking at innovations in recovery housing and economical plans to help house those that are homeless, or we'll see examples in ways that faith communities are helping the homeless. We'll be listening to the author of a book on home sharing, share some of the inspiring ways to overcome the resistance or reluctance to sharing housing, and how having homemates can really be a win-win on many different levels. We'll be discussing proactive ways to scale up home sharing, which is one of the fastest ways to meet the needs of people who are in a real difficult situation due to job loss, reduced hours, and the other challenges caused by this pandemic-driven economic crisis, where you can be providing one person with income and another person with housing that is affordable, and allowing them to be in a bubble for COVID-19 reasons, but not sitting alone in their home or apartment. We'll be looking at some exciting innovations in financing, looking at the possibilities of charitable capital and crowdfunding, pay for success models, and other programs. We'll also be looking at innovations in ownership models, seeing how to better leverage community land trusts, shared equity, shared appreciation, or limited equity housing cooperatives. We'll also look at how communities can begin to manage the big picture strategy, where you're looking at managing not just an individual program, but a strategy that has many different stakeholders and partners working together. You'll have an opportunity to learn from Chuck Marone of Strong Towns about some of the ways to avoid the housing trap and create a more financially sustainable community. And also see how to integrate fair housing requirements and principles into your overall housing strategy. There'll be inspiring sessions that look at harnessing the power of youth, whether that's students in high school or young people who've dropped out of school and perhaps even been incarcerated, who can be part of creating a more equitable and affordable housing ecosystem. And lastly, we're going to be looking at rapid responses to the COVID-19 housing apocalypse, with so many people being behind on their rent, behind on their mortgage payments, and many of the financial supports for unemployment and mortgage forbearance and eviction restrictions starting to come to an end. It could be a very serious problem happening very rapidly in many communities. So we've put together some resources that can help communities see what steps they can take in a very short term that will be part of a longer term strategy. So there's a ton of topics here. And our goal has been to equip communities with some of the most promising tools, inspiring innovations, practical ideas that they don't have to reinvent, so they can begin to move forward in a strategy that works for their community. This virtual summit is intended to have information for a wide range of people. We've listed here some of the people who would be ideal to attend. People like city and county leaders, the mayors, the county commissioners, the city managers, both elected officials and staff of the city or county. Also, state and local housing leaders and the staff of their organizations, especially those who are responsible for increasing access to housing that is affordable. But also nonprofit organizations involved with housing, health, reducing poverty, people working with city planning who are dealing with zoning and other community development plans, hospitals, health centers, and others that are having to develop community health improvement plans that are increasingly looking at the upstream social determinants of health. Organizations and individuals working to end homelessness or housing insecurity. Faith communities where people want to love their neighbors or be part of helping their community or the members of their congregations to live more stable, healthy lives. People from economic development organizations, banks, credit unions, community development financial institutions, city and county health, human services, philanthropic leaders, affordable housing developers, public health departments. There are so many people in a community that could come together and access this. Now, with the free pass, you have access to watch any sessions you want in their scheduled time on August 11th and 12th. So you can have people attend for free. But with the All Access Pass, you get so much more. You get 2 live panel discussions, one each on August 11th and 12th. But perhaps more importantly, you'll gain immediate access to some of the session content. Not necessarily the whole 50-minute session presentation, but somewhere between 5 minutes and sometimes 30 or 40 minutes of the sessions have been pre-recorded, and those are available as they become released, but many are available already with the All Access Pass. So you can begin to look at the sessions and then think about who else should participate or build the case for getting the All Community All Access Pass. But with the All Access Pass, you can download the presentation slides or other materials shared by the speakers. You'll be able to submit questions and have those questions answered either in the session or in a post-session Q&A. And you also get access to a 2-hour e-learning course that I developed based on a half-day workshop that I do on developing and implementing community health improvement plans. But you can think of the affordable housing strategy as similar to a community health improvement strategy. It's the same techniques. Now, the best opportunity is to get the All Community All Access Pass. In this case, for $800, you get a coupon code that allows you to have up to 100 people participate with the All Access Pass, which means you can immediately begin sharing the videos, the pre-summit content, the e-learning with people throughout your community, and that's going to bring together the people who need to understand and learn quickly. With both the All Access Pass and the All Community All Access Pass, you'll have the recordings for 2 years. So as you begin working on your strategy and you come up with questions or issues, you can go back to that session, listen to what people have done, look at the resources that they're sharing, and not have to reinvent the wheel. You'll have that information at your fingertips for all of those topics that I just mentioned. And we're also doing a special bonus webinar on rapid responses for communities to address the COVID-19 housing pandemic. On July 28th, we're going to be doing a special follow-on session where we'll go deeper into each one of those 5 recommendations with a little bit more practical information and answering the kind of questions that people have. And you get access to that webinar. All 100 people in your county can get access to that webinar and the recording as part of the All Community All Access Pass. Currently, you're able to get the pre-event pricing, which is $80 for an All Access Pass or $800 for an All Community All Access Pass. But as soon as the event starts, the price is going to go up to $95 for an individual All Access Pass and $950 for the All Community All Access Pass. We think many people, once they start watching the sessions, will realize how valuable they are and they'll want to get access to all of those recordings. But if you make that decision before the event, you can get it at the pre-event pricing of $800 for the entire community or $80 for an individual. Now, if you've already purchased an individual pass and you want to upgrade to the All Community All Access Pass, we'll give you credit and send you a check for the amount that you paid for your individual pass. If you want to look at other frequently asked questions, feel free to come to the website and scroll down to the frequently asked questions, or contact us if you have any questions that aren't answered here. We hope you can participate. We hope you can engage others in your community to participate so you can be part of the exciting progress in building communities that can thrive with housing that is affordable and as often as possible ownable. Thank you very much.